Mr. K is performing his magic act on a cabaret stage. Unfortunately, the audience isn't paying attention to him despite the fact that his tricks are pretty impressive. When Mr. K eventually gets to a remote hotel, the manager's dog snarls at him. Tomorrow morning, he's supposed to perform at a cafe in the area, but the manager refuses to give him directions before they do the check-in. She shows him his room and goes over all the regulations. Mr. K sees a child around the corner in the hallway and performs a small trick that releases a butterfly, but the child flees when the manager gives him a glare. Mr. K is startled to discover a pair of legs protruding from beneath the bed when he tries to settle down later. When he looks more closely, he sees an elderly man staring back at him. The man crawls out of the room without saying anything. After hearing a sound, Mr. K opens the closet and discovers a maid hiding there. Without saying anything, she also exits the room. Mr. K observes the two intruders conversing outside the door, but they depart as soon as they see him. K finds his poster in his suitcase and rips it in two. He doesn't see the water leak or anything moving beneath the wallpaper. As he prepares to depart the following morning, he runs into the maid and plays a practical joke on her by shocking her. He sees the word Liberator written in red on the wall as he moves down the hallway. He continues to walk, but he is unable to find a way out, and every turn he makes is a dead end. He hears an odd sound in the pipes, and they begin to tremble. Before long, the building as a whole is trembling, the lights begin to flicker, and the strange sound reverberates through the walls. Then a number of musicians emerge, playing their instruments loudly, as small panels in the walls open. They approach Mr. K, who instantly flees and becomes frightened by the band that is pursuing him. He finds some stairs and goes to the next floor, only for the musicians to follow him there. K seizes the opportunity to hide with an elderly woman who has come out to investigate the noise. Before he faints, he shuts the door and turns to see that there are two women. Mr. K awakens on the couch a short while later. The women offer him coffee and introduce themselves. When they learn that K is a magician, they are thrilled and want to know if he saw his people in half. Mr. K says he must leave because he is uncomfortable. He is then led to the floor mat by the sisters. He locates the "You Are Here" spot, but there is still no way out. The sisters tell him that since they have everything they need here and the stairs are too difficult for their aging legs, they haven't left the hotel in years. They tell him to go see the Oracle and apologize for not being able to assist him. Before departing, Mr. K makes a flower appear for them. The lights flicker once more after he passes through a few more hallways, and he spots some children running around. Mr. K tries to follow Melinda as she moves between rooms to ask for assistance, but the door is closed. The children take one of his suitcases and hide in a room while he's preoccupied. Mr. K dashes after them, but all he finds when he opens the door is a closet. Two waiters dash into the closet as the band emerges at the end of the hallway. Mr. K then follows them. Now that he's in a room with the band, Gaga notices him and calls him a new guest before dragging him to the main table. While the waiters continue to offer him food, Gaga searches for the children because he is too preoccupied with his suitcase. Every time K tries to look into the other room, a man at the table keeps shifting to obstruct his view while gushing about how wonderful Gaga is. She soon returns without the suitcase and begins discussing art, claiming that her musicians are on a century-long tour. The band then exits the room, pushing Mr. K out as Gaga gets ready for her bath. The hallway becomes chaotic as the crowd takes over. Mr. K discovers he has missed his appointment when he looks at the time. A waiter trips and puts a tray in his hand. Melinda then lines him up with the other servers and leads them to the kitchen downstairs. She puts an apron on Mr. K and then pushes him into the assembly line where dozens of cooks prepare food. Melinda is the head chef's daughter, according to Anton, and K is fortunate to have this position because it's difficult to get hired here. Mr. K begins performing tricks with eggs, including juggling them, in an attempt to persuade the cooks that he is not another employee. Melinda only instructs him to arrive at work promptly tomorrow, though. When the shift is over, Mr. K is led to the bedroom, where all of the workers drink and collapse into a heap. In a strange dream, he sees a wall crack that is bleeding. When Anton wakes K up in the morning, he is startled to see that he is wearing old clothes rather than his elegant suit. Anton then steals pants from a coworker to put on. Mr. K hears strange noises coming from the pipes in the kitchen, but Anton assures him that there has recently been a problem with the water system. Tired of waiting, Mr. K tries to leave the kitchen only for Melinda to suddenly drag him into the storeroom. She has her way with him by pushing him up against the the furniture. Mr. K is then made to attend a lengthy lecture about eggs in the chef's office. He offers K a drink while expressing his admiration for him and his talent, allowing him to impart all of his knowledge. Later in the room, Anton is surprised to see that Mr. K came back with some books that the chef gave him. While Anton takes a book to learn a bit, Mr. K uses the bubbles in the room to do some tricks. He leaves the room to investigate when he hears the pipe noises once more. He hears the sound once more after locking the door, and he opens his arms in an unsuccessful attempt to touch both walls simultaneously. K then uses the restroom, clearly shutting the door for privacy. The knob begins to shake abruptly and doesn't stop until Mr. K declares that it is occupied. Then, a voice asks K in whispers whether he is real and whether the stories about him being the liberator are accurate. As the voice says that there isn't much time, the lid on the bottom of the door is pushed off, and a bunch of hands reach inside. Mr. says they must have mistaken him for someone else and kicks them. However, the hands continue to tug at his leg. The hands don't go away until K declares he's nobody. He chooses to spend the night in the restroom because he is scared and perplexed. Mr. K ends up throwing up when Anton arrives to pick him up for work in the morning. Then K sees that these walls also have the word liberator on them. Anton believes the vandals are playing a practical joke, so the two head to the kitchen. While at work, Anton says he's been at the hotel for 7 years and doesn't know where the exit is because he can't recall the last time he was outside. The dog then shows up at K's feet, and the manager quickly walks into the kitchen. Mr. K makes an effort to follow her, but he eventually loses sight of her after a few turns. K then tries to quit by going to the chef's office in the hopes that someone will throw him out. To entice him to stay, though, the chef offers him a promotion. The chef sobs and begs on his knees when K declines. When the man hugs Mr. K, he asks him to trust him. Anton is envious when the chef shows K his new location in the kitchen and gives him a more elegant hat. When the shift ends, Mr. K tries to talk to Anton, who is upset. Anton believes that K doesn't care who he brings down in the process, he just wants to get to the top. K chooses to spend the night in his hotel room, where he can't stop hearing the sounds of pipes in the walls. He fastens a stiff rope from the window to the door just in case. He discovers it sagging the following morning. This indicates that the room has shrunk and that the sound is coming from moving walls. He quickly informs Anton that the hotel is getting smaller, demonstrating this by demonstrating how his hands can now simultaneously touch both walls. When they enter the kitchen, they discover complete chaos due to the lack of space, but Anton doesn't believe him. The chef refuses to leave the hotel when Mr. K tells them to because they have guests to prepare food for. K becomes enraged and yells at this, then leaps onto the table to tell the staff what's going on. Mr. K leaps from table to table, asking the workers if their lives are worthless as they pound their pans. Even though the chef stumbles and experiences chest pain at that moment, he still gives the order for his employees to expel Mr. K from the kitchen. The kitchen door is locked to keep K out after he is flung into the hallway. When Mr. K searches for the sisters later, he finds that every visitor has been leaving furniture in the hallway since it is too big for their room. The two discuss the presence of the divine in the hotel while K assists them in removing their couch. After that, the sisters return to their room and start singing along to loud music. Mr. K hears the sounds building and discovers a map in a drawer in his room. The pipes continue to tremble. Gaga marches with the band down the hallway. The manager even dances along as the kitchen crew uses their tools to create music. K feels like his head is going to blow up as a pipe breaks and spills on the wallpaper. K falls as the window in his room explodes and a wall cracks as it gets smaller. With all the noises finally stopping, Mr. K takes a look through the broken glass and sees the other walls of the hotel. He is thrown back onto the bed as all the other windows suddenly blow up. Afterward, Mr. K hangs the map on the wall using some gum and adds a piece of paper with a quarter drawn by him. He goes to the closet to get some chalk after tossing some furniture out the window because the room has gotten smaller. He then begins to explore the quarters, sketching a diagram in a notebook so he can add the pages to his map and marking the walls and floor with chalk. He discovers some food in a storage closet. He occasionally peeks into the kitchen, but Melinda gives him a fierce look to get him to leave. Mr. K is so frustrated by the map's unstoppable growth that he screams through the window that he won't give up in order to relieve his stress. More furniture starts to show up in the hallways over time. Mr. K eventually locates the manager's dog, which begins to lick the wall. Mr. K believes he is alone in the dark when the power goes out at that precise moment, but a flashlight startles him. The man K discovered beneath his bed is the one who now lets the flashlight fall to the floor. The man has left when K picks it up. At the end of the quarter, Mr. K looks around for a few seconds before the power returns and reveals the man. K keeps asking questions, but the man never answers. Additionally, he retreats if Mr. K tries to get close to him. When Mr. K awakens in bed the following morning, the elderly man is dozing off at his feet. He makes an unsuccessful attempt to wake him. Later, as K keeps working on his map, the man follows him around and even gives K a snack before departing. Mr. K is appalled to see some eerie tentacles moving in the wall's cracks at that precise moment. He lifts the wallpaper and finds a strange organism made of tentacles. They wriggle and cause the entire building to tremble when K pokes it. The manager detects this and begins investigating the reason. When Mr. K attempts to remove the organism from the wall with a tray, the building trembles once more and the lights flicker. Mr. K chooses to exit the hallway after a pipe breaks as well. After seeing the word Liberator again, K returns to his room and finds the guy waiting there. After consuming some alcohol, K turns to see the entire family seated near the bed. The manager tries to keep the organism on the wall in the main hallway. There are many people in the hallways when Mr. K returns to mapping the area, and they all begin to follow him. As though he were a holy savior, they also attempt to touch him. Before he realizes he can benefit from their devotion, he loses it and yells at them to stop. Mr. K hands out paper and chalk, asking the crowd to help him make the map. Before spreading, they all applaud. Then K climbs on a pile of furniture and sees the manager, but he slips and hits his head, which knocks him out. Moments later, K wakes up and returns to his room, where he discovers that the crowd has eaten all his food, but they didn't draw a single map. K's toothbrush even has a man using it. A furious Mr. K tries to set up rules, but he's ignored as more people keep coming in through the door and the window. Mr. K then proceeds to the moss-covered kitchen, which has significantly shrunk. K is unsure of what to do as the staff continues to drink as usual. Surprising him from behind, Anton says they can act as though nothing happened and invites him inside. However, K refuses to ignore the truth, and Anton points out K's truth isn't better than his. Many people are sleeping against his room, making it impossible for Mr. K to open it when he tries to go back. K has no choice but to sleep in the corridor, and the hotel drops the wallpaper on him as a blanket. A ringing phone wakes K in the morning. When he dashes into his room, he finds that a visitor has already answered the phone and hung up. K loses it and shakes the man, accusing him of ruining everything. The others have to pull him away because he becomes so aggressive. When K tries to clarify that he never referred to himself as a savior, the crowd ignores him and claims he gave them false hope because he hasn't discovered the way out. Before long, moss covers the hallway as well, and a rabbit shows up. When Mr. K discovers the animal has located his suitcase, he searches inside for his belongings. Mr. K follows the dog as it runs by at that precise moment and finds some men cleaning the chalk off the walls. Realizing that the crowd has been working against him, Mr. K yells at them and chases them to his room, where he starts hitting everyone with a broom to force them to leave. K sees something in the bed after he has calmed down. The crowd had been concealing the map pieces beneath the sheets. K looks out as objects begin to fly through the window. It appears that the group has taken over a different room and is punishing him by hurling objects at him. Thus, Mr. K smashes the bed and uses wood planks to cover the window. Mr. K gets out of the way before the ceiling light falls as it gradually unscrews. As he reassembles the map, the sisters show up in the hole and offer him coffee. When he eventually makes the decision to go outside once more to sketch fresh map pieces, Anton and Melinda are among the irate mob obstructing the hallway. After a chase, Mr. K must quickly return to his room and use a chair to block the door. While some continue hurling objects at his window, others are hammering on the door. K is informed by the sisters that it is not necessary for him to leave in the same manner that he entered. Mr. K, who is exhausted, makes fun of them by opening different drawers, but he is startled to discover the tentacle organism on the wall when he moves the wardrobe as well. The sisters describe the eerie tunnel it creates as magnificent yet hideous. Mr. K is willing to take the risk, but the sisters refuse to go with him. K begins crawling through the unpleasant tunnel, terrified but determined. He discovers a light at the end and discovers a membrane obstructing the exit. When he touches it, an odd creature that resembles a squid makes a sound. Mr. K asks it what it wants and focuses on feeling its emotions. Realizing that it is exhausting and won't last very long, K believes it should be free. Simultaneously, the mob smashes through the door and rushes into the space. They drop to their knees in prayer after hearing the creature and believing it to be the oracle. The creature suffers greatly as more people enter the tunnel due to their awkwardness. K realizes they're killing it as the hotel walls tremble. The manager rushes into the room at that point and frantically draws everyone back. She then makes an attempt to enter and accuses K of being a murderer, but he ignores her and begins pushing the membrane until darkness takes over and the creature is driven out. Mr. K finds himself floating in water all of a sudden. The creature encircles him and seizes his leg, pulling him toward the light overhead. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.